Hi. Oh my goodness. So I just got done with a client and I still wanted to make sure that I got this read in so that I could keep my end of the bargain of reading for you all daily. So I have 10 minutes and I'm going to do the best job I can within that timeline. So Amelia, this is her question. Which is on the topic of love and relationships. So for her, and I'm noticing, oh my god, my mascara is running, or like doing the whole down to the bottom of the eyes thing. So Amelia had a question. Hi, Kiana. Of if my relationship is with her current guy is going to last. So I have cards. I have time, and I want to share it. I want to show it off. So I'm going to move you so that you're a little bit over my shoulder this way instead of overhead. I want to make sure that you're still able to see this. So you get to see my little Anubis in the background right here. Ain't he handsome? We'll totally have to show him off one day, but I want you to be, there we go. I want you to actually see this work happen. So let's do what we need to do. And so with all of my readings, with all of the things that I dig into, I kind of feel around. I feel what I need to dig into. Often I, like you did yesterday, I write down the question, and just even in the expression or the rehashing up the question, that often gives me some information to start with. So I'm just going to do it again. And I actually want some incense this time too. So excuse me as I run away for a moment. Because you gotta have your smellies. You gotta have your moments. I'm going to use some sprays. And if you have questions about anything that I'm doing in this reading, or if you have a question on how something works, please feel free to throw it in those comments. I'm going to try my best to kind of keep an eye on what the comments are doing as I'm working through this read. And worst case, I can always reply to them later. But hi, Kiana. Hi, Rose. Hello, Denise. So let me go back to her question. Amelia, is my relationship with my current guy going to last? In readings, I often like to have their name. That to me just kind of solidifies who it is that I'm looking for or feeling for. No, it is literally I feel like I'm looking for someone. So I'm just want to rewrite this real quick. So the first thing that I'm feeling, even in just the writing of this question, is a need for calibration of the terms. Hey, Melinda. It feels like there needs to be a little bit of a calibration on the terms that are being used, because walking into a relationship feeling like it's going to last forever sets up an unrealistic expectation for everybody involved. So first off, that would be my point of wisdom, my point of, like, honey, let's make sure that we understand that Santa Claus doesn't exist anymore. Let's make sure that we don't believe in the tooth fairy, but let's root it in practicality so that we can then build up with a solid foundation. So every relationship, regardless of how terrible or wonderful they are, is going to end at some point. It is the nature of human existence. Every relationship will come to an end. Now, what kind of timeline are we thinking? Now, I understand, is it kind of more along the lines that she's asking for, are we going to make it to something? Are we going to get married? Are we going to be together for 20 years? So that's kind of the energy that I'm looking for, is the duration. Let's get some more time, more duration in this relationship. Or let me just see what it looks like now so we can see what it's going to look like later. So right now, I just want to ask the cards, after I get my oil, because I love my oil. I want to ask the cards, what do I need to know about the current status of the relationship? That'll let me know more. What do I need to know about the current status of the relationship? How's it going? How do they feel it's going? And in this process, I'm also trying to pull in any guides, guardians, and ancestors, any people of her spirit team that kind of want to come in and work with us today. Hey, Tori. So this is just my way of kind of tuning in and getting connected to that energy so that I can read as competently and as adequately as I can. Okay. What do I need to know about the status of the relationship right now? Let's do the beginnings of a Celtic cross. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do face down. And the first card is them right now. This crossing card is kind of some obstacles that they may be going through. This top card is the influences, basically kind of like what is influencing this stuff, whatever is going on. And then the roots of the issue, the roots of the situation. And I also want to look at a general outcome. So this card is usually a past. Well, let's go ahead and move that out here since I've decided I'm going to do that. This is the past. This is the potential future for the connection as it is. Usually by the time I get here, I have questions. I want to pull more cards. So let's go ahead and start with the first card. So I'm asking about Emilia's current status of her relationship. That's endearing. The first card that showed up for us was the Hierophant. And the Hierophant has this inner wisdom, inner knowing. And my first feeling, even thinking about it, is that the insecurity around the duration of the relationship isn't about the relationship. It is about her herself. So Emilla, I'm going to speak to you kind of half directly. I don't think you're in this live as of right now. If you are, totally let me know. But I'm going to pretend that I'm speaking to her because that's what I would be doing if I was recording this reading, for instance. So Emilla, Sweet Pea, my first thought that I want to ask or want to talk or kind of have you dig into is any sense of insecurity within your relationship. Where is that stemming from? Where is that sourced from? Is it coming from you, or is it coming from... Well, it has to come from you. It has to come from you, because I don't feel like the relationship itself is wonky. I feel like the feeling is you're waiting for the other foot to drop. And it's that waiting for the other foot to drop is what will shake up or temporarily disrupt the relationship. So not that the relationship is bad, but that we accidentally infuse it or infest it essentially with insecurity, neuroticism, and emotional discord, and then things tend to fall apart at the seams. So this is interesting for me. So the crossing card is like the obstacles that are in the situation. I have the Six of Wands. Now the Six of Wands is often about celebrations or excitement, or I often think of it like in modes or people who are entertainers. It's like when they are on stage, they have this exuberance. They have this, breathless thing where they feel like they're in tune with God, essentially. Like when you're performing, any entertainer will tell you that when they're in the middle of a show, when they're in the middle of a performance, they're not in their body. They've been taken over and they just are. So I feel like actually like part of the conflict or part of the issue that we're hoping or having is that we're waiting for something that isn't happening. We're waiting for the feeling of like, you're waiting for fireworks, you're waiting for lightning bolts, you're waiting for the sweep you off your feet, when this is not a sweep you off your feet kind of guy. If you're looking to be swept off your feet, your guy is like, I bring you food, not roses. Roses are impractical. They die in 3 weeks. Food goes and nourishes your body. This is what takes care of you. This is what gives you continued life. So it's like the speaking of different languages, love languages would be the thing that I would suggest immediately based on what I'm seeing here, is that both people, both parties have a real clear understanding as to what love languages are and what each other's spouse's love language is, so that you can speak the same I love you and this is why, or this is how. And it's not even, oh gosh, so I really want to make sure I'm clear that it's not literally a verbal love language. It's a situational. So it's like love languages involve like acts of service, time, gifts, physical touch, and there's another one that I can't remember right offhand, even though I have the book in the house. So if, for instance, if my love language is touch, it does not matter how many gifts I get. If my partner doesn't hug me, I don't feel loved. If my partner's love language is gifts, they will always give me gifts because they think that's what love is. But my spouse needs to know my love language is touch. So for me to feel love, I need to be touched. Now, if my partner's love language is gifts, I don't need to touch them. I need to bring them gifts, if that makes sense. But love languages is super important because even love languages have different dialects depending on how you're raised, your circumstances, things of that nature. So that is just a little added for the live here. And that'd be information that I would be talking with Emilla about as well. So the influences, what is influencing this situation on the relationship right now? King of Cups. So I love that card. Let me see if I can show it to you. The King of Cups has an interesting energy to it because he's the master of his emotions. He's settled. He's secure. He's he rides his waves elegantly, and he's not even worried about waves as they show up because it feels like he's gotten a really good, stable, steady balance. So again, I'm feeling like Emilla, if I was talking to her directly, I feel like Emilla is struggling with managing her emotions, and so she's anticipating drama when there is none. She's anticipating issues when there aren't any, because I feel like our dear sweet person that she's connected to is stable, steady, and secure. So it's like, it is okay to rest here. It is okay to be complete. And what is influencing this whole thing, so this is the roots of the situation, is the Justice card. So the Justice card to me has that feel of, if it happens once, it can happen again. Kind of that need to keep the ear to the ground to hear the stampede before it occurs. It feels the need to be hyper vigilant so that issues don't happen. And the encouragement I would continue to get, and I feel like a continued need to reaffirm to her that everything is fine here. What I'm seeing, at least initially, doesn't feel like there's anything coming from your partner that is detrimental to the relationship. I feel like, if anything, it would be coming from herself, the infusion of insecurities and neurosis, neurotic behavior that would be detrimental, and that would have a hardship on the relationship. Oh, my timer went off, so I will speed this up. In the past, it looks like we had 7 of Cups, so that's lots of options that are available to us. I would also think that's like lots of boyfriends, lots of relationships, lots of dating. But the outcome of the situation, I love being the Star card. So to me, that is, she has made her wish. She has wished on her lucky stars, and she has gotten what she's asked for. She has procured what she's asked for. She's gotten what she's wanted. In this read, I don't have any additional questions. Is my relationship with my current guy going to last? I would say that it very well has the potential and the ability to do so. The thing is, I would continue to work with her and talk to her about how can we set your mind at ease? How can we heal whatever's going on within you so that you don't bring that nervousness to your relationship and rattle things up when they don't have to be? That would be how I'd bring that up. But yeah, I hope that makes sense to you all as I dig in on relationship readings. There's so many different ways to go about them. There's so much fun to do. And of course, as I do with all endings of my reads, I give them a little tourmaline to kind of clear out any energy there. Use a little bit of purification. Yeah, purification and cleansing oil to kind of disconnect myself from the energy of my read so that I can go and have a rest of my wonderful day. So yeah, I'm going to use a little bit of grounding spray. And I'm going to head out and have a great walk with my wife. And now that my head's not so much in the clouds, I can actually talk to her instead of just wandering everywhere. Anywho, I hope that makes sense and kind of shows you one of the many ways in which I can read in on small issues, big issues, little issues when it comes to tarot readings. But it's so much fun. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow and doing this again. Mwah! Bye. Have a great evening.